Magandang araw sa inyo mga idol. Weljon, the Triggerman Mindoro, tubong Zamboanga del Sur. May malinis na kartadang 13 panalo. At ang lahat ng kanyang nakalaban ay tinapos via knockout. Merong 100% knockout ratio. Kaya naman halos lahat ng kalaban, pag tinamaan ng pamatay na suntok, siguradong may kalalagyan. Isa nga po si Weljon Mindoro sa inaabangan ng mga Pinoy boxing fans ngayon. Dahil bukod sa lakas na taglay nito, makikita rin na laging 100% ang kondisyon, disiplinado sa kamay ng MP Promotion at handang isugal ang malinis nitong kartada. Gaya nga po ng makakalaban ni Weljon Mindoro sa darating na June 7 na isa ding undefeated na si Omar Ulysses Gutierrez Munguia na may malinis na kartadang 8 wins, 6 knockouts. Sa apelyedo pa lang at bansag nito na Bambam, mukhang magaling na boksingero. Siguradong digmaan ang ating matutungayan sa ibabaw ng lona dahil sa tuwing Pilipino at Mexican fighter ang magsasalo sa ibabaw ng ring, umaatikabong bakbakan. Habang hinihintay nga po natin ang laban sa June 7, atin munang panuurin ang laban ng isa sa mga legend natin na si Nonito, the Filipino Flash Donaire, ang kauna-unahang Meksikanong tigasin na kanyang hinarap. At sa darating na June 17 mga idol, magbabalik po sa ibabaw ng lona si Donaire.
Isa sa mga laban ni Nonito Donaire, binansagang the Filipino Flash, na hindi natin malilimutan. Ang ginawa nito kay Fernando Montiel at Vic Darchinyan na talaga namang gumulat sa buong mundo ng boxing at tanghalin pa nga bilang knockout of the year taong 2007 nang pabagsakin at ma-upset nito si Vic Darchinyan. At 2011 nang pakisay naman ito si Fernando Montiel sa napakalakas na kaliwa na yumanig sa katawan ng Mexicano.
Las Vegas.
Well, balik nga po tayo sa main topic kung saan kauna-unahang Mexicano na nakalaban ni Donaire na matigas at undefeated. 2009 nang makaharap ni Donaire ang binansagang The Cobra ng Mexico. Unang undefeated at matigas na Mexicanong hinarap ni Donaire na si Raul Martinez bago pa sila Herlan Marquez alias Tyson, George Arce at Fernando Montiel at Vic Darchinyan. Subalit pinalambot nga lang po ito ni Donaire nang sila ay magharap. Ilang ulit pinabagsak ang The Cobra ng Mexico na may kartadang 24 wins, 40 knockouts, walang talo. Ating panuurin mga idol, napakaganda ng ginawa dito ng ating kababayan.
We'll see. The champions in the red trunks. Cabrita that comes up, he's 24-0. Martinez is, but is he ready for this stage yet? And the one point I was talking to Martinez about is that when he came to the Philippines in the first couple of days, he was dropping so much weight, he got concerned because of the humidity. He lost 2 pounds. He was already down, so he had to start monitoring what was going on.
Yeah, he was very concerned about it.
With the right hand, and the crowd reacts as Martinez is going backwards. Donaire's trying to take care of business. They had a little Texas two-step there, going across the middle of the ring. Don't blink, folks.
Martinez made the point to us, if I can take his punch, it's going to be a very difficult night for Donaire. But even he had to say, that's the question. Donaire is a very powerful puncher. And always down.
Oh, the left hook on the chin, and down goes Martinez. He's shaking it off. Now we'll see what he's made up for sure now. Martinez down 2 minutes into the first round. Donaire stalking now. You can see the look of bewilderment on the face of Martinez. Going back to the left hand again is Donaire. This is time when a young fighter has to suck it up and find a way to survive.
and those wild punches are not going to get it done for Martinez because he'll put himself in the harm's way of a
Got hit again.
If you press Donaire, that counter left hook will really hurt you, and that was the punch that did end Archinia.
Got him. Down goes Martinez. For of Donaire quickly becomes evident. And you can bet they're listening for the bell over here in Martinez corner.
He said, if I can take Donaire's power, it'll be a long night for Donaire, but so far he has not been handily in one of the TKO in the 6th round. There were just moments where he looked a smidge slower, but the problem is
the left hand again.
There's the power of Donaire, and that's my point. The power of Donaire is the equalizer. He can hurt anybody at these weight classes.
He's trying to finish it early, Al. There's again the left hand. Martinez gets hit with a right. Martinez is just staggered. He's in big trouble. He's trying to stay away. Donaire wanting to put on a show on a Sunday morning here in the Philippines. The left hand, down goes Martinez again. Madrowski may have a decision to make if this continues. Martinez kept saying he's all right, and it's got to be a shocking situation for a guy that's undefeated coming in to be manhandled.
Martinez, but Martinez has not been able to land that one big punch to push Donaire off it.
Down to the body goes Donaire. Martinez surviving so far.
Nice right hand by Martinez. Nonito Donaire is just throwing caution to the wind, and of course it's working because he's knocked Martinez down 3 times.
No fear whatsoever is what that's called. There's the left hand again. It's so powerful, Al. It just staggers him every time he even slightly lands it. It just gets him completely off kilter. Now he's trying to come back with a jab and show a little speed. Good right hand, though.
Let me tell you, Martinez found an overhand right, and he has landed it against Donaire because Donaire is throwing all caution to the wind. This is not the boxing Nonito Donaire, and Donaire's technique has suffered a little bit because he wants to take Martinez out. And so Donaire has to be aware of that overhand right for Martinez, as one-sided as his fight is. Look at right there, Donaire squared himself up just to throw that right hand. That's not the technique that normally Donaire would use.
Another hard punch at the end of round 2. Round 3 scheduled for 12 from here at the Araneta Coliseum in the Philippines. 3 knockdowns so far, as Al just mentioned. And Donaire was a right hand over the top, really throwing caution to the wind, wanting to take Martinez out and really put on a show for the local folks.
Martinez absorbing these monstrous punches. We said he's been down 3 times, but he is hanging in there in this. This is truly amazing. And the more he hangs in there, the more Donaire kind of takes risks to get him out. I'm not suggesting Martinez is going to take advantage of that, but he might.
I think Martinez right now is just trying to hold his ground and get himself resettled after being knocked down 3 times in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, he is. And
trying to find some kind of a groove to get back into this fight.
Well, he found one weapon, and that's the overhand right. The more he can throw that punch, especially when Donaire is off balance and attacking, the more he might make something happen. But clearly, Donaire is...
Good combination. There's the boxer you were talking about, Al.
And Nonito Donaire, it's all about keeping his distance, keeping his balance, and landing those big shots from long range. That's what he does so effectively.
Once again, I remind you folks, we're in the Philippines at the site of the Thrill of Manila, Araneta Coliseum, back in 1975, and we've certainly had a thrilling fight card this morning.
A lot of fun.
Coming to you on a Sunday morning from the Philippines.
It's been great. Brian Valoria with a dramatic win over Melissa Solis. And here we've had lots of action early in Nonito Donaire's homecoming to the Philippines.
Nonito Donaire has 3 knockdowns in the first 2 rounds. More cautious this round now.
Yeah, he's trying to use his technique and his combination punching a little bit more. He worked on his legs, biometrics, running hills, and he said he was having trouble with his legs. Didn't feel like he was strong enough in fights, and he's worked on that a lot, and thinks that will help his stamina in fights as well.
Biometrics, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm like Red Skelton. I don't explain them, I just tell them.
I get the running up the hills part. I like the way he's turned into a boxer here, showing his speed and combinations, and I think maybe Martinez is grateful too.
Well, you know, he realized he wasn't getting Martinez out of there, so he was taking those risks. So now you have to retrench and say, okay, I'm going to have to box this guy a little bit and land big punches.
A little bit, no retreat in that round, and the referee Pete Podgorski comes over and says he's going to have to show some defense and stay on his feet and be all right. You know, he's keeping an eye, obviously, on Martinez after being knocked down 3 times early in this fight.
You know, Martinez's plan was to get on the inside and work the body of Donaire. He has not even come close to being able to do that. He felt like if he could work the body in the later rounds, it might slow Donaire down. But we haven't seen one body punch by Martinez yet. He hasn't been close enough. There he landed a good left hook.
Last 2 rounds, Donaire's gone back to working the jab, and there's the body punch out we were calling for. Now Martinez may be able to find some sort of rhythm here and survive that onslaught he got in the first 2 rounds.
And Pete Podgorski did not, there's that counter left hook by Donaire. He is so dangerous with that punch.
It certainly will put you on the defensive before you throw a right out.
Absolutely. You have to be really careful about how you're going to attack him.
Donaire can come back with that counter left, and goodbye.
And there was a right that missed by Martinez, but Donaire was not quite in position to throw the left hand. Donaire's jab, a very good one, and he's using it there. That's part of what makes this whole deal work. And there's the left uppercut again. And again, that punch is so good for Donaire.
It sort of comes from about 45 degrees. Not straight up, but it's a twisting thing that when it lands, it's devastating. And you talk about his legs, you know, and delivering and sitting down on it. There's a good one right there. Martinez has had no answer.
What Donaire does in this, you know, the reach is about the same, but he's got a couple inches in height, and he fights tall. Donaire fights tall. That's part of the reason what makes him kind of a bad matchup for some of the other people in his division. Is what helped him in the Darchinian fight, because he fought tall and was able to counter Darchinian as he came in. And it's one of his big advantages. That and the jab and the counter punching makes him a tough.
There's the uppercut. There's the uppercut. And the referee just ended the fight. Podgorski just didn't see Martinez doing anything at all. That's the 4th time he's been down. And what about that, Al? He just stopped it right there.
Well, you know, that was an look back at this. This is his signature punch. The left hand is just great. You know, he throws it as an uppercut. He throws it as a hook. And it is a devastating punch. And anybody in this division or a division above, when he moves up to 118, had better beware of it, because he can knock anybody down with it.
Ngayon nga mga idol, wala pa tayong balita kung kailan muli lalaban at babalik sa ibabaw ng lona si The Filipino Flash. Abang-abang na lang tayo at nakakamiss din namang mapanood at makita ang lakas ni Donaire sa ibabaw ng lona.